Hey everyone, happy Sunday. I hope you've all had an amazing weekend, and it is that time again. I am coming to you live from my couch at home. And I'm super excited tonight to invite a really good friend of mine who's absolutely incredible, and I'll just get straight into it and introduce a little bit about her to you. She is an amazing mum of 3 girls and wife, and she's an ex-nurse. So I'm really excited to have her on tonight because she and her husband Lau were very much ships in the night. She was an overworked nurse, trying to juggle being a mum as well. And, you know, life was just getting a little bit on top of things. She was someone who tried everything under the sun when it comes to weight loss, and I'm really excited to, all right, Heidi's on, so I'm going to add her in a moment. But what I really love about I love every aspect of Heidi's story, because she started nutritional cleansing simply from a weight loss perspective and was really quiet about it, and had an incredible result, and has since turned that into a completely life-changing opportunity for her family, where now as a result they earn an incredible income, and she's able to save so many more lives than she ever was able to when she was a nurse. So I am just going to work out how to bring her on the camera. There we go. Jump on in a moment. And what I love most about her is every aspect of her story, because she's super inspirational. Oh, there she is.
I'm in bed.
Because that's what you can do. Why not? And that's what I love most. So I've just introduced you. I'm sure you've heard most of it. So everybody, this is Heidi, and I'm super excited to have her here. I know it's late, and mum life, it is bedtime, so thank you for joining me tonight.
I know. I couldn't believe it when you said 9 o'clock. I've got a child that wakes at 5.
Do you know what? I was gonna do them earlier, but then with bedtime for others, it was gonna be a bit tricky at 8:30, and I know others had calls on. So thank you.
We can get all intimate. You can be on the couch, and it can be in bed with Heidi. Could be a new segment.
I should have saved that for my next campaign. I love that. What do I want to? Oh gosh, I don't even know where to start with you. But I'm really excited to have you on. And why not earn $15,000 a week from home in your pajamas or bed? And that's what you've really been able to create. So, look, and it really does come down to the products first and foremost. And I guess really you did try everything under the sun. You were that person who had done everything. You really struggled with your weight. Carbs and you were BFFs. And, I just sort of want to talk a little bit about what was life like for you before you started nutritional cleansing with Isagenix.
Mm-hmm. So life was like any other 30-year-old that was living in Sydney that had a young family. It was a mortgage that we worked our asses off for. It was credit cards, it was store loans, it was credit cards, car loans. And my husband was working 6 days a week, and I was working 56 hours a week. So I'd work Monday to Friday as a manager, and then on the weekends I'd work night shift at a private hospital just to kind of pay, just to make ends meet. And they obviously weren't meeting, because I had $500,000 mortgage that would remortgage 3 times in 5 years. I had my dad bail me out of about $17,000 worth of credit card debt. So eventually I just became very overwhelmed with life, but I thought it was normal. And that's actually not why I started Isagenix. I actually didn't even know there was a business attached to Isagenix. I just met this girl on a baby sleep site, and she was doing this crazy shake diet thing, and I was like poo-pooing it behind closed doors, like what a crazy girl, because I'd done shakes before. I'd done Celebrity Slim, I'd done OptiFast, and I lasted about a day and a half, got bad breath and constipated, and gave it in. So I really wasn't interested in joining her. But after about 3 months of watching her, she'd sent me that many bloody emails and links and podcasts and put me in groups, and she clearly wasn't getting the message that I wasn't interested. But eventually she put up a picture of her skinny jeans and her butt in her skinny jeans, and I was like, clearly what I'm doing is not working. I was working with a personal trainer. I was eating like what I thought was a great diet. And I'd lost 1 kilo, and she had lost all of this weight and was looking fantastic. So I guess it built a little bit more value in that these products could actually work for me. So I ordered my first box in the October 2012, and yeah, I didn't tell anybody that I was doing it, because I'd always been that chick that every Monday started a new diet and never changed shape. So, but I did change shape. I started putting the Isagenix products in my body. I had a bit of a rocky start with the whole detox, but I was coached through, and I just had this support network of these crazy Isagenix people that actually wanted me to succeed. And I did. I lost about 27 kilos in a very short period of time, considering how long I'd been trying to lose weight for. And I was looking really good. I was a MILF. I was such a MILF. And everyone was saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, hashtag green smoothies. I didn't want to let this secret out of the bag. It was like the best friggin' secret I had. So I really wasn't interested in sharing it. But that same friend that introduced me to Isagenix, she also went on an Isoderby holiday, if you will. And that's where, I said to her, how are you going to Hawaii? She was a teacher. I was a nurse. She had 2 kids. I had 2 kids at the time. And I was like, how can you afford to go to Hawaii? And she said, I'm sharing it, with people like you and a few others, and the company are rewarding me. And I thought, oh my God, I've got myself involved in one of those things, where like your friends hide from you, they block you, they, family run away from you at the barbecue. No one wants to sit next to you. And I thought, I'm not going to be one of those people. I had my head up my bum. I'd had a degree. I'd done exactly what my parents had told me to do, which was to get good grades, go to uni. And, but again, I watched her go to Hawaii. I watched her hang out with all these positive people who I thought were in a cult. And, again, over about 3 months, she kind of built some value in it. And she said some words to me. She said, look, what if I'd never told you about it? She was absolutely right. These products had completely transformed my life. So, I got sharing. I had people beating down my door wanting to know what I was doing. I shrunk. Some people thought I had an eating disorder or was dying of cancer or something like that. I was ill, but I was looking amazing, and I was full of energy, and my outlook on life really changed, which was very attractive to people, because I was that negative girl. I was that really unhappy. I was fat, I was unhealthy, and I was negative. And I turned into this person that was finally positive. I looked forward to Mondays, and it was just the environment that I was immersed in. And so I started sharing, and I never thought that it would lead me to where I am today. I never even started sharing to have a business. I just wanted to offset my products. I just wanted to eat for free. Who doesn't want to eat for free? So I started doing that, and I started eating for free pretty quickly, like in the first couple of months. And then I thought, what if I actually put some work into this? What if I actually immersed myself into this world of network marketing, which I didn't know what it was. I had no sales experience. But I thought, what, I could really redefine this industry. I don't have to be that person that people run away from. And, I've learned along the way. I've made mistakes. I've been too pushy. I've not been pushy enough. I've lost customers. But along the way, I was able to find my groove. And attract a team that stands at nearly 28,000 people today. And I've even helped create a millionaire and create myself to millionaire. So it's been an incredible journey, and it was something that happened just very organically. So you don't need to come into Isagenix being a business person, but put those products in your body. And if you're a woman, you can't help but talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And just PS, you're still a MILF, like 3 kids, and you look like that. Stop it. But do you know what I love? Like, well, besides your whole story, at the start when I started as well, all these people were cheering me on, and in these groups, and I was like, why are they so like? I don't know these people. Like, I was kind of the same. I was skeptical. I was like, why are they cheering me on? What are they getting out of it? Like, there had to be an ulterior motive, and it just wasn't. Like, I was in this group, and these people weren't all financially linked to me, and it was just an amazing supportive environment, which I'd never been a part of because I was like professional yo-yo dieter as well. So to finally have a solution that's, for you now 5 years, you've been able to keep your health on track, and I'm at 4.5, and it's just amazing. Like, it changed everything from a health perspective, especially for you who's come from a nursing background. It's just the ripple effect is incredible on how many people you can help. So, all right, so you lost 27 kilos in 3 months, and was that right?
Yeah, roundabout. Yeah.
Amazing. So your friend's in skinny jeans, and you've lost 1 kilo. So you're like, okay, it works. But so what do you think the reason was that you were so successful with using Isagenix with the products?
So what? Yeah, because I actually took them. You can't take them and go to Macca's at the same time. I was super strict, and I thought, look, as I said, I didn't have any money. So I saw this as an extra expense, which a lot of people do at the beginning. But what I realized is it actually just replaced my spend, and it actually became an economical decision to use these products. But the first month especially, I was like, I've invested my money in this. I'm actually going to do it properly. And then by that stage, I'd got great results. I never was not going to use these products. So I really stuck to them like glue. I used them the way that they should be used. I cleansed every single week, just one day. I'm not a great cleanser. I'm going to cleanse tomorrow though, because I got on an in-body scanner today. Definitely cleansing tomorrow. So I just took them the way that they told me to take them. I gave up alcohol for 30 days. I probably gave up alcohol for 90 days, to be honest, because I was getting such great results. And don't forget, I'd had years, like I'm talking 12 years of not being able to budge my weight. When I actually saw that something was working, I wasn't going to interfere with that. So I was super laser focused. I guess that was it. And I'm also that chick that wants to rip the Band-Aid off quickly, get in there, get it done, and then chill out a little bit. So I got in there, I got the job done. I did it over Christmas, New Year. I had a holiday in between. But yeah, I was cooking that Christmas turkey in a size 8 little red dress. I'll never forget it. I was a MILF, and that was the best Christmas present ever. So it really paid off to stick to it, because now, following that, it only took 3 months to get incredible results because I was super strict, and then I built it into a lifestyle.
And when you say super strict, because I was the same, I was being really strict when I started. I actually lost a lot of weight doing it the right way, the traditional way, eating clean and training hard and doing that kind of thing. But I got to a point where I wasn't losing anymore, and it was very easy to lose in the past, but it would come back on, which you'd experienced as well. So, when you say yes to trying something different like this, where you're like, okay, well, 30 days, I was the same. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to do it as I'm told. I'm going to follow the program. I'm going to put my other vitamins and stuff aside because...
Hey, Belinda's watching. She's my sponsor. Let's say hi to Belinda. She changed my life. I love you.
Hey, Belinda.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No. I just realized that it's scrolling down and mine wasn't catching up. So how amazing, because like I don't know Belinda, but because she shared it with you, like you've been able to then share and change so many people's health and life in every which way. And it has been you've got such a big team. You pour so much into your guys in helping them bring them up, going into their home, sharing it with their friends, doing training for your team. You're a huge inspiration. I do want to be like you when I grow up. Okay, so you had great results, and it has absolutely changed your life as well. Earning $15,000 a week plus is no mean feat, and it's something that you couldn't even imagine, because I know initially for you it was just about earning that $100 because you guys were in financial strife, and a lot of us are like, you know, we're living day to day. We've got the job. A lot of people are having a second income on the side. I'm in Melbourne, you're in Sydney. House prices are crazy expensive, and it's about that car, the house, and, you know, and kids, and so kids are doing so many extra things these days that a lot of people do need that extra income. So how did you juggle being a mum, being a nurse, working crazy hours, and then learning to become a professional network marketer?
I was just ignorance on fire, like, and I wasn't that type of person that was like, I have to know something to do something. A lot of those people kind of like getting ready to get ready. I'm not that type of person. So I remember like Belinda sharing that if I enrolled 2 people, you know, for every person I enrolled, I'd get $25. And if I enrolled 2 in 1 week, that would be $100. And I was like, $100? Like, so yeah, it seems so insignificant now to what I earn, but that is the vision I share with people. And, you know, it's a lot easier now that the company have put more money in. You know, I can show people with 2 enrollments how to earn $450 a week. So if that was shown to me 5 years ago, where $100 meant so much to my family, like I would have run even quicker. So it wasn't about like this great big vision of earning like thousands of dollars. It wasn't. It was that $100 that meant so much to my family, because yeah, we were in mortgage stress. I was working my ass off. My husband was working his ass off, and we could never get ahead. We could never have holidays. We could never, you know, and we would have holidays, but we would have whacked it on some other credit card and then not had the means to pay it off. And we were just on this, like, I feel like we're on that mouse wheel where we just could not get off. So $100 just allowed a little bit of pressure off us. You know, it allowed us to, you know, put petrol in the car and not have to think about what's the bank balance. Like, honestly, things were that tough for us that, and yet we were working. So, you know, I had like this white collar job. I was a manager. I'd kind of peaked at my career. You know, the only other option for me was to go back to uni and spend more money, or work more hours, which I was already working 7 days a week, you know, night shifts on the weekend. So, you know, it was just that $100. And if I could impact 2 lives a week and earn $100, like, that was a double bonus for me, because I was a nurse. Like, I went to work to save lives for a living. So Isagenix just made sense, because, you know, Belinda changed my life. She made it worth living, you know. So I find it so frustrating when, you know, people say they don't have time to do this. Well, you don't have time not to do it. You know, you know, I get so many people that whinge, and you'll see them on your Facebook feed, and it's only because they've not really had exposure to this business before. And they don't really know that it's possible for them. But if someone with no experience in sales, network marketing, actually had a little phobia about network marketing, you know, can do it, working 56 hours a week with a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old and a husband that was really against her for a lot of this time, then, you know, why can't they do it as well? And why wouldn't $100, you know, you say you'd do anything for your children, yet you won't do this, you know, which can make your, you know, I took Sammy to Disneyland for her 5th birthday. You know, my kids have the opportunity to do anything. And, you know, people say money doesn't make the world go round, but it makes it a better place to live. It makes memories, you know, to be able to take my kids on any holiday that they want. They can do anything after school that they want. They can, you know, sometimes I think we overindulge our children a little bit, but you know, I take them to Bali, and we have a daughter over there, Marcella, and we're able to pay for schooling. And, you know, we met our nanny over there, and she needed some money the other day for her mother-in-law, and we're just able to get it to her without even thinking twice about it. Like, that makes life worth living. you know, and that does take money. So, you know, I was able to just kind of get my head out of what had been taught to me, and we're all conditioned, right? And I was having this argument with my mum the other day, you know, about terrorists, and I was like, they're just conditioned. Those kids don't come out of the womb with a machine gun ready to bomb people up, you know. They're conditioned, they're programmed that way. And so network marketing, I had to change my programming. My programming was go to uni, get an education, work to your 70, and then retire on 30% of what you can't, of your income, and you can't even afford your life on 100% of that income, you know. But that was taught to me, and that was taught to my parents by my grandparents, because the model worked back then. But if you look at the economy and you look at the way that the world is changing, it's moving more online, and the economy is not the same. And so therefore we need to change our programming. And I really, you know, that's why network marketing is catching on. You'll see more and more of this come, you know, more and more entrepreneurs and more companies are choosing network marketing to market their products because the economy has changed. And so I don't think I've just gone totally off tangent there, but you know, that $100, I would move heaven and earth for that $100, because that meant my children had more opportunity than what they did without that $100. And so I just made it work, Diana. I just, you know, I just found time, and we can all find time. You know, how many of us are watching Bachelor in Paradise, you know, and that hour spent on television could be just spent talking to people about a product that can ultimately change their life.
Oh, everything there was just amazing. And it comes down to choice and freedom. And every dollar figure that you've mentioned, that I've mentioned, is just a result of someone else having amazing results. That's all it is. And I think the same. What if someone didn't tell me about it? I'd still be struggling, you know. It would still be in
and it's okay. And you know what, it's okay if your friends don't want to do it. Like, I've got a best friend, she's my bridesmaid, she's been my friend since I was 3, and she doesn't want to do Isagenix. That's cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean she's not supporting me. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be friends with her anymore. You know, we catch up. She says, hey, Heidi, you're killing it. You look good. I'm doing paleo or whatever she's doing, you know, at the time. And I'm like, hey, you're killing it. You're doing good. Doesn't mean that they don't support you, you know. So just keep going, because there's always someone waiting. Like, you know, as I said, my team's nearly like 28,000 people. That means 28,000 people at some point in their life within, you know, generally my team's within Australia, but we're open in 13 countries, have used Isagenix. So yeah, it's, you know, only 4% of people really do this business hardcore. Doesn't mean that the whole 100% can't, but 4% will choose to. But you're absolutely right. It's just a product. It's just the way that the product is distributed. There is a service attached to it. The economy has changed, so some will get on board and some won't. But yeah, like, why not get your $100 a week if that's going to change your life, which it changed my life significantly. A lot of people nowadays don't relate to that big number. And I understand, because I remember my uplines, Paul and Suzanne, coming to my house early in the piece, and they told me that they'd earned $7,000 that month. And as soon as they went away, I said to my husband, they're lying to me. Like, what absolute BS. Like, how can you sell shakes and earn $7,000 a month? Like, that's ridiculous. So that wasn't a vision for me. That wasn't something that I wanted to follow.
That was something that was. Oh, okay. We're back. Oh, okay.
We're back.
Yes, yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened. I think it was my connection. What was I going to say? I lost it. But what I did want to say is, you know how you said it was just about that $100. I
Yeah.
was speaking to Adam James, another Isagenix, millionaire, someone who's done really well. And these big figures aren't something that a lot of us can comprehend when when you've been conditioned a certain way. And, you and I, we went to school. It was a different world back then. And, year 10, you have your careers counselor. What do you want to be when you grow up? And you have, they said, you go to uni, you get the job, and that's great, but it doesn't work anymore, which is why so many people are looking for that additional income into the house. And with Adam James, it was an extra 300 for them. And they were not dissimilar to you guys, like great jobs, kids in great schools, but it was like chasing that tail and on that wheel ongoing. So, yeah, sometimes those big figures doesn't make sense, and like, yeah, it is as if like BS, as if you could actually do that. But you're walking, talking, living testament of that, and it's incredible, and you're able to inspire so many others now. And that huge team you've got is just simply a result of you sharing your own physical transformation that has changed your health forever from someone who was frustrated with their weight. And I'm the same when I'm pretty adamant when I go to a restaurant that I love, I'm like, no, you have to go there. And my eyelash lady, I'm like, no, she's amazing. Like, try and get an appointment. And I'm like that with everything. So why wouldn't we share something that's changed our health so fundamentally, right? And that's where it comes down to. So I've got a question, because this is something that I get a lot, more so from women, but sometimes from guys. You became very successful when Lau absolutely thought this was a scam. He was not on board, and it was challenging for you. I know that. So he was unsupportive when you started to pursue network marketing. So what did you do to get his support?
I think I stopped realizing that I think I had in my head that there was this like fairy tale support. I'd seen couples go up on the stage together, and they were doing this together, like as in they were both the face of it. And what I really realized is that doesn't necessarily mean I stopped comparing myself to other couples, and I realized that, you know what, although Lyle's not on the stage with me and you won't see him at all the events, it does not mean that he has any lesser part in this business. He's at home supporting me with the children. So he, and he's supporting me in being at the events, and he's supporting me in preparing my pieces and training on stage, which is, as you know, what lights me up. And, so he supports me when I'm in the office at night doing these lives and the baby's going off on the monitor, So I think you've got to stop looking at what's wrong with your relationship and start thinking what's right with it. And I stopped that whole elastic band analogy where I was like pulling and he was resisting, because it was going to snap. One of us was going to snap. So, I was just really respectful of his partnership in this business. I didn't come home from events and expect him to, get all excited and expect him to know what I'd experienced at that event, especially if it was a personal development event. And I was just really thankful and grateful for him for whatever part he could give me within this journey, and just realizing that, I loved him for different reasons. It wasn't, I didn't love him because he liked Isagenix. Isagenix came into my life post loving him. So really just go back to your core values as a couple and where you are, and you'll probably find that they still match. You just probably need to cool it a little bit. He's like the family member that wants to hide at the family barbecue from you. Just cool it a little bit.
Yeah. I guess what I had with Josh was he was supportive of me, but actively disinterested. He had his own thing going on. He had his own successful business, and he was supportive, but it was my thing. It was something that, I was going to pursue. And he only really looked at it when he actually saw the bank balance, that it was real, because he was skeptical, but he wasn't cynical. So he was open to it. So anyway, I know Lal's super on board now, and he's a huge support for you to be able to do everything that you do. Okay. So we've heard a lot about what life was like beforehand, and lots of numbers have been thrown around, and by any means this isn't typical. As Heidi said, 4% of people are really going to pursue this, and everyone can do it but won't. And she's put a lot of work in. But what is your life like now that you've created this choice and freedom? Where are you?
Look, I'm still looking for people to help. Like, I'm 35 years old. I'm not going to sit on my bum for the rest of my life. Like, I'm a very driven human being. I love coaching. I love getting people the results. So like bringing I'm always talking to people about the products and enrolling them. And, like that's my favorite part. But life is a little bit more chilled. I don't have to, well, not exactly true, because it's still a business and I still operate like a business. So you wouldn't expect your local cafe not to open because they don't feel like it. They're going to open when they say they're going to open. So but I do have a whole lot choice. I don't think about where the kids do gymnastics or where they do piano or where they do soccer, or I can just hand over the credit card and expect that to all be paid. My body, I don't seem to worry about my body so much anymore as well, like in terms of its shape. It's kind of just knows what to do now. It's healthy, it's happy, does its thing. I can go to the gym at sort of like 8:30 when I drop the kids off. I can drop the kids to and from school. I take them to their after school activities. I can have whole days with my husband. I can book Bali, and we usually spend a month in Bali. So I just have choice. I think the difference is it's just choice, and like my life isn't going to be everyone on this call listening. That's not going to be their dream life. I've got 3 kids. Like that's not a dream life for a lot of people. But my kids are my life, and they're why I get up every single day. So it's just all about giving them the best life possible. So we are trying to organize a trip to Sri Lanka at the end of the year. I want to take them back to their roots. And yeah, I can have a nanny. I love my nanny because she actually just left me, but I'm in the process of hiring another one and the first thing I say when I interview them was, I don't want you to raise my children. But I do need another set of hands sometimes to step in when I'm at work, because I love my work and I love this balance. And I think that's what it is. It's the balance of being able to be who you're meant to be. I'm not meant to be a stay-at-home mum. I'm really not. Like, it would drive me up the wall if I was with them 24/7. I'm not stimulated enough, but I love my children. So I am definitely put on this earth to empower people, and that's what I love. So, this job is just a fit for me. But I love at lunchtime to be able to go and share some puree with little Lani and put her to bed with a bottle, So I love that flexibility and that choice of having someone that can step in. After I do this call, I'll go upstairs and the little fairy would have ironed my clothes and done all the jobs that I don't want to do. But, I can still be present with my children, and definitely nursing. Yes, Isagenix takes me away from my children sometimes. I'm heading out for a work trip on Friday. I'll be gone all week. But if you looked at my nursing schedule,
Oh, I'm back. Apologies again. Can you see me? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
I love everything about what you just said then, because it really is a balance of what, Lal's doing and what you're doing. And so much, what I've really heard from you tonight is so much choice about what you've got for the girls now. Like really not worrying about gymnastics or swimming or dancing or whatever they want to do, they can, and you don't need to stress about that. And I know even just very recently being in new mums groups, it's like, well, what activities and cost is always an issue that comes up in a lot of things, buying things secondhand or whatever, just always trying to save some money. But what if you could actually earn that extra $100 a week. What's that going to do for your family? And that's how it started for you, and it's just turned into so much more. I love all of that. So you're
You
super
love being in
inspirational.
bed with Heidi MacAllen?
I do love being in bed with Heidi MacAllen. Love it.
Ah!
I'm still really loving hanging out with Ivy. So she's still super new, and getting that time to spend with her all the time. She's in bed. I already miss her, but that's okay.
Oh, I love when my kids go to bed.
She's still new. She's only 9 weeks.
Oh,
the novelty hasn't worn off yet.
7. I think I tuck it out at 7 weeks.
I must be in a bad spot. I'm gonna leave this on one question. So if you were to have a dinner party with 3 people, any 3 people, inspirational, dead or alive, that you could sit around the table with, who would those 3 people be?
My girls, no question about it.
That was easy.
It was so easy. My beautiful girls.
And if there was another seat, then Lau would get it, I'm sure.
Maybe you.
Okay, cool. Lau comes 5th. I love that. Oh, well, maybe this weekend, Josh and I and Ivy are heading up for a road trip. So we'll be seeing you in Adelaide, which will be super exciting. And you're right, you know, there is.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're going on a road trip. Don't know how we'll go. We'll see. We're trying to get to Adelaide in one day. So 8-hour drive. Why not? We always wanted to do this road trip, and it's been on our radar for over a year. And then we're like, well, let's do it now that we've got a kid. So
you'll be good. She'll
see how
sleep.
it goes. I know, so I'm looking forward to seeing you. So thank you so much for jumping on the couch or in bed with Heidi, whatever we want to call it. I'm really grateful that you were able to set this time aside, and I know it's time that you could be spending with the girls or sleeping. So I'll see you on the weekend. Thanks so much, Heidi.
All right.
And
see you guys.
Thanks everyone for jumping on.
See ya.
Night.